Our lesson today is on circles and how to find the area and circumference of each. Our vocabulary, we start with the radius of a circle. This is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. Diameter is distance across the circle through the center. It is twice the radius. And our circumference is the distance around the outside of that circle. Get that drawing down in your notes, please. Pretty important. It points out what everything is. To find circumference, we take the product of the diameter and pi, which is represented by 3 1400ths or 22/7. And the formula for that is C equals pi d or 2 pi r. Remember, since the radius is half the diameter, these are the same thing. Let's apply that formula to this circle. We're going to find the circumference of this circle. We're going to use 22/7 as pi. So we start by writing the formula. C equals pi times d. Since we have diameter all the way across, we're going to use pi d. Sub in what's known. Pi is 22/7. Diameter is 21. Let's set up over 1 since we have fractions here. And we look, 21/7 can be simplified. Divide each by 7, we get this. So our circumference becomes 66 feet squared. Just multiplying the fractions. That one seemed pretty easy. Now we're going to work backwards, a little bit trickier. We're going to find the radius of a wheel. With a circumference of 44 inches, we use 22/7 to represent pi. So, start with our formula again, C equals, and since we're asked to find the radius, we'll use this one, 2 pi r. Circumference is 44. We have that 2. Pi is 22/7 again. And the radius. So we go ahead and combine on the right side. 2 times 22/7 is 44/7. And r is still unknown. So to get rid of that fraction and get the radius by itself, we divide by 44/7. And we all better know by now, when we divide by 44/7, we are multiplying by the reciprocal. Because on the right side, that eliminates the fraction. On the left side, we're down nice where the 44s go away. We are left with 7 to equal our radius. Working backwards. Formula, substitute, solve. Equation knowledge, we should have a good grasp on it by now. The area of a circle, that is the amount of space inside the circle. In our formula for that, it's the product of the radius squared and pi. There's your equation written in math terms, a equals pi r squared. So for this one, if you're given diameter, you must find the radius just by cutting it in half and then squaring it. We're going to find the area of the following circle. So here we're given diameter. Okay, we have to get it down to radius. So our formula, a equals pi r squared. Area is still the unknown. I mentioned, I'm sorry, we're going to use 3 1400ths for pi. So we'll say 3 1400ths times 5 squared. Diameter is 10, cut in half, the radius is 5. Further simplify. 5 squared is 25. And from here, we solve it. And when you work this through, you should get 78 and 5/10 inches squared. Just formula, chug and plug, simplify. Now, like the last one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to work backwards for this kind of problem. We're going to find the radius of a circle, with an area of 530 and 66/100 square feet. We use 3 1400ths for pi. So formula, again, plug in what we know. We know the area. We know what pi is. We have no idea what the radius is yet. Go ahead and divide both sides by 3 1400ths. And we should end up with 169 equals radius squared. Undo squaring by square rooting, which gives us 13 feet as our radius. This concludes your lesson on circles.